Ladies and gentlemen, Purdue has played a major role powering 50 years of space exploration through research and the education of thousands of young people fired with a passion to go where no person has gone before. Today, we are very pleased to have with us for this celebration 16 of our 22 astronauts. Many of them are here with their families. Will you please welcome each of them? First, this astronaut who earned his master's degree in aeronautical engineering from Purdue in 1966. He has flown on 6 space shuttle missions, the last in 1997, logging 161 days in space, including time on the Mir station. Please welcome back Boilermaker John Blaha. This astronaut earned his bachelor's degree in aeronautical and astronautical engineering in 1973. He has flown on 2 shuttle missions, the last in 1991. Astronaut Mark Brown. Next, the wife of a Purdue hero, the late Apollo astronaut Roger Chaffee. Please welcome 1956 Boilermaker homecoming queen, Mrs. Martha Chaffee. A 1969 graduate with a master's degree in aeronautical and astronautical engineering. He flew on 4 shuttle missions, the last one in 1993. In 2003, he was selected to lead a distinguished task force to assess NASA's return to flight efforts and to help implement the findings of the Columbia Accident Investigation Board. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Covey. This astronaut earned his bachelor's and master's degree in Earth and Atmospheric Sciences in 1989 and 1991, respectively. He is slated to fly a shuttle mission next year, one that will service the Hubble Space Telescope. Please welcome Drew Feustel. A 1978 graduate with a bachelor's degree in aeronautical and astronautical engineering. He has flown on 4 shuttle missions, the last one in 1997, and he has a daughter at Purdue. Please welcome Greg Harbaugh. This Purdue astronaut earned his bachelor's and master's degrees in metallurgical engineering in 1970. He flew on 1 shuttle mission in 1989. Please welcome astronaut Mike McCulley. This astronaut earned his master's degree in aeronautical and astronautical engineering in 1972. He participated in a 1985 shuttle mission. Astronaut Gary Payton. This Boilermaker earned his bachelor's and master's degree in 1978 in aeronautical and astronautical engineering and participated in 2 shuttle flights, the last in 2006. Astronaut Mark Polanski. This astronaut earned his bachelor's degree in 1970 and his master's degree in mechanical engineering in 1972. He has flown on 7 shuttle missions, the last one in 2002. Purdue astronaut Jerry Ross. This astronaut earned his master's degree in aeronautical engineering in 1968. He was on 3 shuttle missions, the last in 1992. Please welcome back to campus astronaut Lauren Shriver. This woman earned her bachelor's degree in engineering sciences in 1975. She has flown on 5 shuttle missions, the last in the year 2000. Please welcome back astronaut Janice Voss. A 1971 graduate with a bachelor's degree in aeronautical and astronautical engineering has flown on 3 shuttle missions, the last one in 1985. Boilermaker Charles Walker. This astronaut earned his bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering in 1964 and flew on 2 shuttle missions, the last in 1989. Welcome back, Don Williams. This Purdue astronaut earned his bachelor's degree in electrical engineering in 1978. He has participated in 3 shuttle missions, the last in 1998. He has logged 158 days in space over 3 separate missions, including a long-duration stay on the Russian Mir space station. Welcome back to Purdue, astronaut David Wolf. This astronaut earned his bachelor's degree in electrical engineering in 1956. He was a member of the Apollo 10 crew and commanded Apollo 17. He also flew on Gemini Titan IXA. He is called the last man to walk on the moon, but we prefer to say the most recent Boilermaker on the moon. Welcome back, Eugene Cernan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome an American hero and a Boilermaker, Neil Armstrong. Now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand for the Purdue ROTC's presentation of the colors? And now, to sing our national anthem, a 12-year-old student at Faith Christian School, Joshua Campbell.
See by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning, Boiler fans. This is quite amazing, huh? My name is David Pyle, and I am a senior in engineering from Silver Lake, Indiana. I serve as president of Purdue's Foundation Student Board.
And my name is Jill Steiner. I represent students as a member of the Board of Trustees. It is my pleasure to welcome you to this exciting day in history as we dedicate the Neil Armstrong Hall of Engineering. Our first role here today is to acknowledge some important members of the audience. Representing the Board of Trustees, please welcome the Chairman of the Board of Trustees is Mr. Tim McGinley and his wife Jane. and Vice Chair John Hardin, along with his wife, Vicki. Also from the board, Mr. Mike Burke and his wife, Kay. Miss Joanne Brulette. Miss Susan Butler. Mr. Mayman Powers, along with his wife, Cynthia. Mr. Tom Spurgeon and his wife, Joy.
Also, we are pleased to welcome Purdue's leading academic officer, the interim provost, Dr. Vic Lechtenberg, and his wife, Grace. It is also an honor to welcome Michael Griffin, who serves as the administrator for NASA. And now, please welcome the John A. Edwardson Dean of Engineering, Dr. Leah Jameson.
Wow. I look out and I see this wonderful crowd, and I see our alumni, our faculty, our students, our staff. I see people who've made history. I see engineers who took the country to the moon and back. And I see our family and our friends. 3 years ago, our Purdue community gathered on homecoming weekend to break ground for this facility, and it was a cold day. This site was empty, but our spirits were filled with hope and optimism that a structure would be raised to inspire us all. I think we got it just right. Thank you for gathering on this homecoming weekend to celebrate a great milestone in our history. I know that many of you traveled a great distance to be here, and I'd also like to welcome those people who are viewing this celebration on the web. Purdue Engineering is entering a new era with a bold vision that we will advance learning, discovery, and engagement for people of all ages to fulfill our land-grant promise and our responsibility as an evolving global university. In short, that we will be known for our impact on the world. Our facilities support this vision. Armstrong Hall, our flagship building, epitomizes this vision. It's a building that promotes hands-on learning, teamwork, discovery, and community engagement. It's also a striking symbol of Purdue Engineering and the journey that our students take as they move from high school graduate to Purdue Engineer. With its unmistakable presence here on the corner of Northwestern and Stadium Avenues, Armstrong Hall represents both a physical and intellectual gateway to the College of Engineering. This building will be the distinctive face of Purdue Engineering for students, for prospective students of all ages, for parents, for guests, and an icon representing the college. Armstrong Hall is a center of transitions. Our entering first-year students will be welcomed and advised in the Department of Engineering Education in this building. Armstrong Hall is a center of discovery. Researchers in that same Department of Engineering Education will explore how preschool children, through career engineers, learn engineering concepts, and how people learn to work at the boundaries between disciplines. Both the School of Materials Engineering and the School of Aeronautics and Astronautics have their homes in Armstrong Hall, reflecting within this one building engineering's reach from the nanoscale to the galactic and the span of our discoveries. And finally, Armstrong Hall will help us build and sustain connections far beyond Purdue. It's the home of EPICS, Engineering Projects in Community Service, the award-winning service learning program that pairs multidisciplinary teams of students with local community organizations. And it's the home of our nationally acclaimed minority engineering and women in engineering programs, emphasizing the relationship between diversity and innovation. Engineering is about impact, and engineering is about people. Establishing and sustaining these connections keeps Purdue engineering fully engaged in the broader society that we all serve. So today I am filled with pride. I'm inspired by the achievements of all of our Purdue engineers. This building represents our hopes and our dreams and will inspire our students of a sense of infinite possibilities. I look forward to Purdue Engineering's continuing mission to serve Indiana and to serve our world. Thank you all for joining us today. Help us shape the future. At Purdue, not even the sky is the limit. Thank you all.
Thank you, Dean Jamison. It is now my privilege to introduce the leader of our great university. Dr. France A. Cordova officially became president in July after serving as chancellor at the University of California at Riverside for the previous 5 years. She is an internationally recognized astrophysicist and has been a chief scientist at NASA for the 3 years in the mid-1990s. And now, please welcome the 11th president of Purdue University, Dr. France A. Cordova.
Ladies and gentlemen, you'll be pleased to know that I deleted 3 pages from my speech this morning because the pages of history have been written by these men and women that are here today. The first man on the moon, Neil Armstrong, the most recent man on the moon, Eugene Cernan, our 14 other astronauts who have done so much to launch our future. Please give them all just a tremendous hand. This is an emotional moment for me, and I know for all of you, just having these fine men and women with us and just realizing what they mean to our country, to our world, and to Purdue. It's with immense pride that we put the name Neil Armstrong on this building. It's the cornerstone of Purdue's strategic plan and the university's commitment to remaining at the forefront of engineering research and education. The building's distinctive wing-like roof extensions are part of a design that mimics the appearance of an aircraft to symbolize Purdue's contribution to flight and space program. It also says to the world, we're launching our future. I do want to say some thank yous to the people who have done so much to bring about this building and this plaza that we're standing on. This $53 million building includes almost $38 million in state funds. All of us at Purdue are very thankful to the governor and the General Assembly for their wonderful support of higher education. The remaining funds come from private donors, including Caterpillar, the John Deere Foundation, and Purdue alumni Stephen Bechtel Jr., the late Kenneth Johnson, and Hetty Kurtz, whose late husband was a Purdue alumnus. Mary Jo Kirk and her husband, Purdue alumnus Bob Kirk of Washington, D.C., donated the money for the Neil Armstrong sculpture, which we unveiled yesterday. In recognition, this area is being called Kirk Plaza. So we appreciate all the wonderful gifts that made this possible, and our special thanks go to Neil Armstrong for allowing his name on this building. Just as we honor him by this naming, he honors us by linking his great name with our university. Neil Armstrong Hall is one giant leap for Purdue. Thanks to all of you for joining us on Homecoming Day, and go Boilermakers!
Thank you, Dr. Cordova. And now, the astronaut to have served as the last astronaut to walk on the surface of the moon. Please welcome retired U.S. Navy Captain Eugene Cernan.
Thank you. President Cordova, Neil, honored guests, all of you out there. What a great day this is for Purdue. What a great day it is for our nation to honor a colleague and a dear friend who has done so much for this country of ours. I can't tell you how proud I am to be here, Neil. It's as special a day for me as it is for you. But you know, the recognition that we give Neil, the honor, the tribute that we pay Neil, I believe goes further than Neil himself. It goes far beyond what he has accomplished. Because let me take you back very quickly in a couple minutes I have. Let me take you back over 4 decades, because we have a generation of young men and young women in this country of ours who weren't born when Neil made those first steps on the moon. And a good many of them are out there right now. And at best, you were in diapers or knee pants when we made those final steps of Apollo on the surface of the moon. So let me take you back over 4 decades. It was back in those terrible 60s. The country was torn by campus unrest, civil strife, and the beginning of what became a very, very unpopular war. And we had a bold president called John F. Kennedy. A bold president, whether he was a dreamer, a visionary, politically astute, I don't really know that we will ever know that. But he challenged American people to do something beyond our wildest dreams and unlimited imagination. He challenged us to do what I don't know about the rest of you guys and gals, but he challenged us to do what I thought at that point in time was indeed impossible. And that challenge was met by the American people. It cost them courage, self-sacrifice, dedication, commitment. But that vision, that dream of John F. Kennedy became a reality. And this day, and this building right here is a recognition of that dream and a recognition of those people who made not just all those steps we made on the moon even possible, but all the steps any of us ever made into space. The future dreams of those who follow us here at Purdue are certainly embodied in this building this morning. Now, I've been asked real quick, I got another minute or two, why so many astronauts from Purdue? What do they do down there? How come, you know, I don't know. Maybe it's because those of us who choose to come to Purdue come because we want to. I don't know that we're special, but I do know that when we leave here after the years we spend, we are indeed special. We're Boilermakers. We come with one of the finest educations we can find from any university in the country. And whether we knew it or not, and probably most of us never did realize it, but the first steps any of us took into space were taken right here on this campus. There's no question in my mind. Let me real quick. You know, aviation and space is a romance, or we wouldn't be here. None of us would be here. It's been a romance for over 100 years. And as I look back at the Wright brothers, we have an unbelievable legacy of technology. We've got airplanes that fly around the world. You've got more technology in the palm of your hand than Neil had in his spacecraft to land on the surface of the moon. This building is a symbol of technology yet to come. But I think the real legacy of the Wright brothers goes beyond, again, the technology. It's the inspiration and the passion and the dreams that they provided into the hearts and the minds of all of us who at that time followed. And this building here and Neil's accomplishments have indeed endowed that legacy for the future. The dream is alive, Mike. We are going to go back to the moon. And we are going to go to Mars. And those young kids out here in 4th and 5th and 6th grades are going to be the ones who take us if we give them the same opportunity that someone gave us when we were their age. And someday, Neil, you're going to have company. There's going to be a young boy or a young girl who graduated from Purdue who can come back here and stand on this platform and tell you what it is like to look back home from Mars, and they're going to sit right alongside beside you. And that is a challenge. You know, real quick, there could have been a number of people who could have been the first on the moon, and Neil will be the first to admit that. But fate shined down upon us, and fate chose Neil Armstrong to be that man. Mike Griffin last night said it very, very eloquently, but I need to say it again. There is no one human being that I know and have met and have worked with in my entire life that could have handled and accepted the responsibilities, the honor, everything that went with being the first man to walk on another heavenly planet in the history of mankind with any more dignity than Neil Armstrong. Neil, I'm proud to be with you this morning, and I'm proud to be your friend.
Thank you, Captain Cernan. Now, the person for whom this engineering building has been named, the man who will always be known among Purdue students for his perseverance, dedication as a student, educator, citizen, and generous alum, and will forever be remembered worldwide as the first man to walk on the moon, Mr. Neil Armstrong.
Thank you for being here and sharing this day with me. I'd like to begin by giving some special thanks to my family and introduce them to you. My son Rick, down here. My son Mark, his wife Wendy, and their daughter Kaylee. And my wife, Carol. She's always willing and able to help, and I need a lot of help. On this spot, 60 years ago, I was a wide-eyed freshman going to Saturday morning class. The buildings that were here at that time were relatively new. Quonset huts. Temporary quarters for classes and laboratories in a student body swollen with World War II veterans. All student housing was overflowing. Many of us lived on the other side of the Wabash until a room became available in West Lafayette or on the campus. But the veterans were remarkable. They knew why they were here. They knew what they wanted to achieve, and I learned much from them. During orientation week, incoming freshmen listened to the legendary Dean of Engineering, Andre Potter, who told us, you have to be able to do everything that a scientist could do, but you have to do it on a budget. We were introduced to formidable engineering curriculum, a very large number of classroom hours with classes in differential equations and thermodynamics and kinetics of mechanisms. We didn't know what those words meant, but we thought it sounded exciting. We learned about the uniqueness of engineering. Science is continually searching for a better understanding of ourselves, our world, and the universe around us. Engineering would take that knowledge and build things that did not exist in the natural world. Engineering is about what can be. Engineering soon learned a theological maxim. Hell has a constant temperature. If temperature variations could exist or could be created, some engineer would build an air conditioner. Of course, there is another possibility. The temperature variations do exist there, but there are no engineers there. Engineering students make substantial use of the Greek letter eta in lowercase. It's often used as the symbol for efficiency. Engineers strive to make efficient products that are stronger, lighter, less expensive, use less fuel. In short, engineers spend their lives making things better. Some of us are natural pessimists, some natural optimists. As often been said, some see the glass full, some see the glass half empty. Engineer sees the glass is twice as big as it needs to be. After John Glenn completed America's first human flight into orbit 45 years ago, President John Kennedy said, quote, "We have a long way to go in this space race, but this is a new ocean, and I believe that the United States must sail on it and be in a position second to none," end quote. Well, we have here today a number of Purdue alumni who have sailed in this new ocean. We have other Boilermakers here who designed and built the craft and the systems and made the United States second to none. Most of all, those sailors and builders based much of their success on their engineering skills learned on this campus. In those 45 years, we have gone far, but we still have a long way to go. This building should be a crucible in which the advances that lie ahead are created. In addition to the state of Indiana, as the President has mentioned, many have made a significant part in making this building a reality. In addition to those names that the President mentioned, I'd like to mention a few other friends from the aerospace industry who played a part in making this building a reality. She mentioned Bob and Mary Jo Kirk. I'll mention them again because he is a great friend. I'll mention Milan and the late Ray Siegfried. Rolls-Royce America head Jim Guyette, Marshall Larson of Goodrich, Bob Stevens and Vance Kaufman of Lockheed, Brian Rowe of GE, and others. And I take the liberty of personally thanking them on behalf of everyone who will benefit from this hall's existence. And so we dedicate this new building, this magnificent new building, but by itself it cannot impart knowledge. It requires people to provide that function. Innovative faculty, skilled staff, curious and determined students to produce those graduates who, with their classmates across the engineering campus, will sally forth and provide a host of societal advances, create what can be. It's my fervent hope that they'll have the same affection for Purdue and this building when they are my age that I have for this university and those Quonset huts. Hail Purdue.
Thank you, Neil. On behalf of all students and alumni of Purdue University, I want to thank Neil Armstrong and all of our astronaut alumni for everything they have done for their alma mater. Thank you. And now, as President Cordova, Neil Armstrong, and all of our astronaut alumni move into position for the official ribbon cutting, I want to let you know that the tours of Armstrong Hall will be available immediately after the ribbon is cut. Ready, 3, 2, 1, lift off!